Also have here tonight, and I want to call him up, Dr. Walt Palmer.
All right.
Walt Palmer goes way back with MOVE to the 70s, 77, 78. He was a mediator between MOVE and the city of Philadelphia. This is the man who, when you hear us talk about the destruction of MOVE headquarters within hours after my family was arrested, it being the scene of the crime, and according to this system, you don't destroy evidence. You don't destroy the scene of the crime, you preserve it. Well, they destroyed it. And Walt knows all about that and will speak on it because he was instrumental in getting a court order to protect the house from any kind of destruction. All right, so he's going to be talking about that. Walt tried to get murder charges put on Wilson Good, etc., those that murdered our family. So we want you to pay attention and listen to Dr. Walt Palmer. Give him a big round.
Before Dr. Palmer starts, I really want everybody, if you got your pens and pads out, to get them out because he has so much information to share. I write a weekly column for Philadelphia Magazine, and they asked me to write this week about what happened on August 8, 1978. And I submitted it yesterday, but for whatever reason they decided not to publish it today. They'll do it on Monday, but better late than never. My point is this. I couldn't complete the article until I talked to the person who could give me more information than any book could ever give me. And that's Dr. Walter Palmer. Let's give him another round of applause.
Thanks, Mike. I traveled from Washington. Ramona had called me and asked me if I could be here. It was a conflict in the day, but I did just juggle stuff around. I'm sick as a dog, but I was determined to come because every time I call Ramona, or every time I call Pam, to come over to the University of Pennsylvania where I teach, they never say no. They show up every time, year after year after year. I mean, just as Mummy had said, and I remember Mummy when he was a teenager, right, when he was a part of the Black Panther Party, etc., at Ben Franklin High School. What you're looking at is an absolute travesty in the law, travesty of justice. The MOVE 9 members did not kill anyone. The MOVE 9 members did not kill anyone. I was there. And I had been there for over a year. Delbert and Phil, Janine, all of us used to gather at the porch and talk about strategies for trying to be able to liberate their brothers and sisters who were in prison. And many people don't know it, but part of the negotiations that took place, we were able to get 5 of the MOVE members out of prison that were in state prison. And Frank Rizzo acceded to that. He's never admitted, but he agreed to that.
Made to concede. Said he didn't negotiate with terrorists.
Right.
That's what he said.
And what happened, nothing else would move. Nothing else would take place until those people showed up. And until Delbert and Janine and Chucky and all of them could recognize the fact that they were there. When they talked about invading the property, invading MOVE in '77, and they put these perimeters up, we organized a citywide movement to protect them. We called on the Black Power movement, the Afrocentric movement, we called on the Civil Rights movement, we called on people all over the city and around the country to help us. So we created human shields. We spent a whole year going back and forth into the compound, trying hard to make sure that they were protected, they were fed, they got water, etc., against the wishes of the police and the media, etc. And we were able to give them comfort while we were there. After almost a year, we had legal people working on a number of other people. We were able to get a negotiated agreement between MOVE and the city in terms of de-escalating the combatant voices. And 90 days was the time that they were supposed to be able to think through what they're going to do. So we had it done as a court order. Sheldon Albert was the chief solicitor for the city. And he was the one that was constantly fueling the flames, fueling the fire, constantly. So when we got the 90-day agreement, he said, on the 91st day, we're going to tear down that building. There were 2 buildings. We're going to tear them down. We're going to wipe them out. Well, Move wasn't going to take that. They knew Move had a history of fighting back. They weren't going to take that. And so Move then went right there with them. And so on the 91st day, they decided to exercise their full force of their power and authority. I got down there, somebody called me and said they had brought tanks in, they brought all kinds of guns, and they had a 50 caliber machine gun in the apartment building across from the building. So I got there about 6 o'clock in the morning, and after trying to go into the house and talk to Move and the members, and trying hard to take the babies out and take the women out, it was just none of that. Like they said, and rightly so, these are our family. This is our family. We are not leaving here. This is our house. This is our family. We're not leaving. And after going in 3 or 4 times, on the 3rd time I came out and I stood right in front of the house. And I share this with you. I set it up like this so you get to understand. I stood in the middle of the street and I heard a gunshot from over my shoulder to my left. Move is in front of me, down in the basement. Sergeant Ryamp gets killed. He's standing on Pearl Street, on the southeast corner of Pearl, alongside the house. It had to be a pretty tricky bullet to come out of the cellar, go around the corner, and hit him. They killed no one. No one. But it's only because they believe so strongly, because they have such faith, that they've been able to persist. How many people do you know would be willing to fight, to deprive themselves of freedom, to champion a cause to the death? They will stay there till they die before they retreat. That's the character of who those people are. You're talking about a rare breed, not only in America, anywhere, and particularly in America, where we've gotten people who are much weaker. We don't have the kind of strength, the kind of fight, the kind of zip we used to have. So I hit the ground. When I hit the ground, because I knew all hell was going to break loose, the shooting started. And the police penetrated. 6 policemen stood right in front of that building where the windows were open, and they'd already put tons of water down there. And they had some Thompson machine guns, and they emptied those guns in those windows without consideration who was down there. They threw the machine guns down, pulled their pistols, and emptied their pistols down there, just blindly shooting before they stopped. And then what happened was, we're quiet for a minute, and then there was some shooting. I'm now laying in the street. I can't move. I got a pink shirt on in the summer, a pink shirt. I'm an ideal target. So firing is going everywhere. I'm pinned down by fire. I was telling Michael Cord, bullets were just whizzing past my head. You can feel the heat, and you could feel you could hear the sound. I'm the only one out there without a gun. That's what pissed me off. Everybody had a gun but me. Everybody. I came out of the old Black Bottom. I always had a gun. Everybody had a gun but me. Right? So when I could finally get up and run behind the bus, the bullets were hitting the wall and ricocheting. I said, I'd be damned. I'm going to die in the back. Now they weren't going to shoot me in the gutter. Now I'm going to die being shot in the back. When it finally settled, Delbert and them, I guess, had made a decision to come out. Delbert came out first, and he came out from near Pearl Street. And Chucky came out, from the south side in front of the house, and he had been shot. And I saw them grab Delbert, and I started to run to Delbert, but I saw a cop take his gun and put it at Chucky's head with the hammer back. So I had to make a choice between Delbert and Chucky. I went back to Chucky, hold the man's hand and said, "You take this away from his head. You got to take this away from his head," okay? Because he was also handcuffed.
Wow.
This is an unbelievable travesty. Now, just understand, it's not uncommon in America. And black people have seen these kind of travesties in our lifetime. So it's not uncommon. But the reality is, here we are in 20th century, 21st century America, where you're hoping and praying that something else was happening. The political people, as Lamona said, who made a career, the prosecutors who made their careers out of prosecuting people wrongly, the politicians who've gotten elected by virtue of taking sides in this issue to their own benefit. We are without real leadership in this town. We do not have any real leadership in this town. They are gutless. They are gutless. Fast forward, we go to court. We've got to get lawyers removed, move elections to argue their own case. What I just shared with you never made it to the court. Billy Nauer never asked for it. Move wouldn't ask for it. So my testimony was never, ever entered into the court. Ever. Not that it would have made a difference. Not that it would have made a difference. When we fast forwarded to 85, this became horrific. And in an effort to try hard to stop a 78 confrontation all over again, we started asking elected officials and other people to really come down hard, come down on the mayor. And what happened was, as you know, that bomb was dropped. And I told Wilson, "You're responsible. You're responsible. That's your fault. You were on call. It was on your watch." When they finally bombed out everybody and shot everybody out and tried to stop people coming out of the building and shooting them, I pulled together a number of civil rights activists and I contacted Bill Kunstler, who's a great constitutional lawyer. Mike's aware of him. Brought him here and we filed a writ of mandamus to try to take the bodies. In '78, when they said they were going to tear down the building, I contacted the lawyers, got out Arson Gaskins to get Wilson, Judge Wilson, to get an order to maintain the building. They destroyed a crime scene. Before I could get that order from downtown, they had bulldozed and taken down the building completely. No evidence could be taken. No bullets, no blood, nothing. Because they had already decided what they were going to do. It was already programmed. In '85, they'd already decided what they were going to do there. I tried hard to bring criminal charges of murder against Wilson Good, Leo Somborough, Leo Brooks, Somborough, Wilson Good, and Richardson. Sorensen, who was the coroner, and I think Edward Rendell was the DA, if I'm not mistaken. I tried to bring murder charges on all of them. Didn't go much. We went to the United Nations trying to get war crimes against all these folks. But people just simply would not look at the justice or the lack of justice, when in fact anybody's rights are denied. Yours are next. That's the message. Yours are next. And so I stand with the 9, I stand with Mumia, I stand with Mona and Pam, and I will to the day I die. And I will never retreat from my story. I will never retreat from my story.
Mention here too, Walt tried to get murder charges put on Wilson Good, etc., those that murdered our family. Michael Cord, along with Leon Williams, noted attorney here in Philadelphia. It was the 25th year from the bombing. Yeah, and those murder complaints were filed. Of course, they were denied. I mean, I guess nobody was dead, nobody got murdered, nobody was killed. But we didn't really file those murder charges expecting them to say, "Oh yeah, you're right, we were wrong, we're guilty of murder." Did you expect that, Mike? No. So we go to court to expose the injustice so that anybody that still wants to hold on to this rotten system and, you know, have hope, quote unquote, that things are going to work out. They can't do that with the examples that we set, because it's made very clear that those running this system don't give a damn about justice. They don't care what the legal system says. They don't care. They do whatever they want to do that they hallucinate is in their interest. So I just wanted to bring that up. You know, when Walt talked about people coming out of the house, Delbert Africa, who will be calling in tonight, was beat almost to death, on August 8th by 4 cops, not 3, 4, but only 3 of the 4 after a whole year of MOVE supporters pushing, you know, not relenting one bit, you know, pushing for these cops to be charged. Did District Attorney Ed Rendell at the time file charges against these cops. Now, they were not attempted murder. It was not aggravated assault. It was official repression, I believe they called it. You know, they went to trial. The cops said that they could not get a fair trial with a Philadelphia jury. They went to Harrisburg, selected a jury, imported them into Philadelphia to sit on this trial. The trial went on. This time, the cops were supposed to be the defendants. The trial went on, and after both sides, the prosecution and the defense, put on their case, they had video of Delbert being beat by these cops, including the 4th one that they never brought charges against. After both sides had presented their case, the judge, Stanley Kubacki, released the jury, said, all right, you know, you're done, we don't need you anymore. And he proceeded to acquit those cops by what they call directed verdict. He didn't let the jury that he brought in from Harrisburg and paid taxpayers money to house and, you know, take care of during the course of the trial.
I've got to drive 4 hours back down to Washington. So I really try to encourage all of you. I've spent most of my life fighting for other people. And I've encouraged people to fight, stand up and fight all my life. All the knuckles in my fists have been broken before I was 40 years old. I was stabbed in my eye, razor here, shot before I got to high school.
He released them. Didn't let them do what they came there to do, which was deliberate and render a verdict. He acquitted. He acquitted those cops. So again, I tell you, you know, when it comes to MOVE, we leave people no doubt, no question about what this system really is. And the thing is, we make it clear, it's not just MOVE. It's not just MOVE. Ada Guzman was not a MOVE member. Eric, what's his last name? Garner was not a MOVE member. You know? Amadou Diallo, as far back in Philadelphia as Winston Hood. That was in the 60s. We haven't forgotten him. You know? None of them were MOVE members. So don't sit back and try to absolve yourself of any responsibility in this revolution by thinking. It has nothing to do with you. This happened to Move because Move was up there, you know, shouting down with this rotten ass system and, you know, confronting cops, etc., blah, blah, blah. It ain't just that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. All you got to do is be available for arrest. You ain't got to do nothing. Yeah? So, you know, that's the message that Move is bringing people.
I've got to drive 4 hours back down to Washington. So, I really try to encourage all of you. I've spent most of my life fighting for other people. And I've encouraged people to fight, stand up and fight all my life. All the knuckles in my fists have been broken before I was 40 years old. I was stabbed in my eye, razor here, shot before I got to high school. In all those fights in my lifetime, I never fought for myself, always fight for somebody else. I have a charter school with 1,300 children. I teach them leadership, self-development, social justice. When I can't punch no more, I'll scratch. When I can't kick no more, I'll knee. But I'll never get on my knees and on my belly and surrender. And we must challenge this generation to learn how to fight and who to fight. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ramona. Thank you, Pam. Let's give them another round of applause. A big round.